This food pyramid consists of 4 layers. 4 layers that are the building blocks for any food imaginable. Nearly infinite food options, but everyone has their favorite. What is your favorite food? This is a question that would bring a wide array of answers from a wide array of cultures, people, and experiences. However, if someone asks me this question, 9 times out of 10, I'm saying mac and cheese. This is unarguably the most timeless dish of all time and a staple of Thanksgiving cuisine. Looking up Thanksgiving essentials on Google frequently yields the same answers: turkey, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese. So according to Google and me, if your Thanksgiving dinner does not have this cheesy dish included, you're simply doing something wrong. To truly be able to accurately crown one mac and cheese as the best, we must first know and understand the dish. I've come up with 4 questions that will be answered in today's video. Who invented pasta? Who invented cheese? Who was crazy enough to put them together? And which mac and cheese is statistically the greatest of all time? I'll be taking you through a brief history of mac and cheese's origins and eventually crowning one as the best mac and cheese. The origins of the first pasta are nearly impossible to trace and prove to be a real challenge to get a concrete answer on. However, a few theories that I've come across include macaroni pasta originating in China around 1700 to 1100 BC. Other theories include Naples inventing it in the 1700s and even being the first to mass produce it with machines. The last and most interesting theory being Marco Polo, who popularized it by effectively stealing it from China and sailing it back to his home country of Italy. According to many sources, it is most likely China is the original creator of noodle making and pasta as we know it today. So I will say they're the original creators. Now that we have an answer to our first question, let's move on to who invented cheese. I will never forget a meme I saw of a nervous mushroom stumbling on his words trying to explain what his true intentions with that cow were when he discovered that he could milk it. And that got me thinking, who is the weirdo that originally invented cheese from that milk? While it is once again very difficult to find who exactly created cheese first, what I can say is who was weird enough, or in this case, brave enough, to mass produce it first. In 1798, a man that would change how food was made forever was born. That man being Jesse Williams. In a time where wheat and butter were the safest options to make and gain a profit from, Jesse Williams was thinking bigger. He knew cheese had monetary potential even when most laughed and doubted him for it. Cheese production had more of a profitable future than most gave it credit for, and in 1851, he proved everyone wrong. Jesse Williams' factories were producing thousands of pounds of cheese, a much greater amount than any individual effort would yield. When people began hearing of Jesse's success, the former naysayers that laughed at the thought of producing cheese ever being a successful business move were now flocking to his front door begging for business advice.
Squidward, is that you?
Jesse Williams' story later went on to inspire John Kraft, the original owner for Kraft Foods, and by extension, Kraft Mac and Cheese, which is responsible for millions of boxes of mac and cheese being sold weekly. John Kraft even being cited with asking the question, where would our nation be had not pioneers such as Williams dared to do things differently? A rather rich history for something as bland and mundane as cheese. 2 of our 4 questions are answered, and it is now time to search for who was actually crazy enough to combine these different sources of food into one. Searching for the true inventor of mac and cheese yields many answers. While Thomas Jefferson is not the first to have made mac and cheese, he is most likely who introduced it to the States. Like Marco Polo, who took pasta from China and sailed it back to his home, Thomas Jefferson did something very similar. Rather than China being the victims of the recipe theft, we instead set our sights on France. Jefferson took a cookbook which included the recipes for mac and cheese. He loved how the recipes made it sound so much that he had his unpaid workers cook it for him frequently. Nevertheless, the sources that many historians state is where mac and cheese actually originates is in the Italian cookbook Libro di Cucina, which is believed to be one of the oldest cookbooks ever made. Libro di Cucina was stated more frequently as the original source of mac and cheese, so we will say that Italy was the first to make it. We have just gone through 3 of our 4 questions. It is now time to answer the question you've all been waiting for. What is the best mac and cheese? I've looked extensively over many top 10 lists of what restaurants have the best mac and cheese, and the ones I found that constantly stood out were Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Noodles & Company, and Panera Bread. Some close runner-ups include Boston Market, Bojangles, Dave's Hot Chicken, and Arby's. However, the mac and cheese that the internet seems to always have in that number 1 spot is Chick-fil-A's, which I happen to agree with, and so do most of my current subscribers, as a community poll I did recently shows. Nevertheless, every Reddit forum I'd go on with the title "Which fast food place has the best mac and cheese?" would have 2 words frequently attached to one another: Chick-fil-A and homemade. We could always think of that one person who just makes great food, whether it be a family member or a friend. Like those friends, that great food has always been in the background for those Thanksgivings, even if you didn't like mac and cheese specifically. Maybe Chick-fil-A mac and cheese is just best at firing up those nostalgia receptors in your brain, bringing you back to those Thanksgiving afternoons coming home from school and being treated to a hot plate of everything you could ask for, including that warm, homemade mac and cheese. Mac and cheese's journey throughout history is a testament to its enduring appeal. From its humble beginnings in ancient civilizations to its widespread popularity today, mac and cheese has evolved into a comfort food enjoyed by people of all ages and backgrounds. Its adaptability as a dish has allowed it to transcend borders and language barriers into being a beloved dish worldwide. Whether prepared traditionally or with a modern twist, mac and cheese continues to delight the taste buds and bring comfort to countless individuals, ensuring its place as a timeless culinary favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and much peace and love towards your grandmother. Goodbye.